Yeah, I love this place. It's definitely all about the clock this weekend, and you know, I feel like we've got a really good car, you know, to get us to victory lane this weekend. So, you know, it's going to take a lot of hard work, you know, learning the different nuances with this car, and Goodyear brought a little bit different tires. So, you know, we're gonna work through all that in practice. We did today and we will tomorrow, but I feel good about it. You know, this is just one of those tracks, and I know I've said it over and over again in here, that you know, things have just changed the lease, and the way you drive the track, even though the cars have gotten faster, just the way you drive the track, and how you use the brakes, how you roll through the center, how you apply the throttle, have just not changed tremendously here versus what we've gone through at other tracks aerodynamically and mechanical grip and some of the faster tracks. So, you know, it's always a track I come to looking forward to, and I hope the same with this car. And so today, you know, things went pretty well, so I'm pleased and excited about the weekend. Well, I mean, talented race car drivers, when they get with the right team, are going to have success, and I think even young, it depends on what kind of young personality they have. You know, if it's super aggressive, then you know, there's a lot of times where if you don't manage the patience along with that, then you're gonna find yourself going really fast but hitting a lot of things and tearing up equipment and taking some time to learn what it's like to run a 500 lap or 500 mile race. So, but I've always said it's you're better off having somebody where you got to pull the reins than you are cracking the whip. And so, you know, when you see a guy that has speed and talent and pushes hard, then you know, you hope that over time that patience and using your head in those situations can come along with it. And so, you know, I felt like I was pretty aggressive when I first came into the sport, and you know, made a lot of mistakes, but was able to take that, progress with it, and gain experience and patience to go be more consistent to make you a championship, you know, contender. No, I don't notice anything different. I mean, the way you drive, you know, the aggressiveness that you have, I think has always been there. You know, I feel like the emotions, you know, have always been there when somebody gets you upset, you know, and you know, your emotions get the best of you. You make decisions, and those things happen today no different than they did when I first got in the sport. You know, we're running more mile and a halves and bigger tracks now than we did when I first got in the sport, and the cars are more equal now than they used to be. So, you know, I personally just think you're seeing a lot tighter racing in the closing laps when there's a caution, and people are aggressive and people are, you know, going for it, and it's what makes, I think, those moments exciting, but it also is what makes for some of those instances to happen. I mean, Bristol, you know, I mean, gosh, you know, I mean, people have been getting spun out in Bristol for forever. So, you know, that certainly hasn't changed. On the bigger tracks, I don't think any of us are sitting there making a decision based on whether this is going to hurt or injure me or the other guy. You're making decisions based on trying to win the race, and then you're also making decisions based on the heat of the moment if something really, you know, gets a hold of you and put you in that position to make an irrational bad decision, you know. But those are the things that are going through your mind, not the dangers. That's, you know, we all get complacent in how fast we're going and you know, how tight we're racing until those moments injure somebody.
Everything that you do.
Well, I mean, I feel like my rookie year was the toughest, just because there was hype on all the rookies that year, Bobby Labonte and Kenny Wallace and myself, coming from the Nationwide Series, and you know, I think that there were a lot of people looking for that, those younger guys coming up to make a dent in the sport. You know, I was fortunate that, you know, my third year in the sport, we were battling for a championship. So when you go do that, the pressure changes from whether you've got what it takes and whether you belong there, or, you know, working on job security, to the pressure of winning every race you go to and trying to win the championship. So you know, I think in Joey's case, he has had a lot of hype and he's had a lot of success, but in the Cup Series he has struggled, and I think there's a lot of question behind that, and I think it, you know, I think it's been pretty tough on him to have all that success along the way, have all that hype, come in the Cup Series and not be able to live up to it, whether it's the team or him or whatever it is. Just the combination hasn't been there. So, you know, I think that now with this move to Penske, there's certainly a lot of pressure on him to live up to those expectations. I couldn't go through and tell you which rooms they're in, and you know, I mean, I know that they're accounted for, but I have a pretty bad memory. I mean, I think there's one still in a box, and I think that there's several spread out between Rick Hendrick, Ray Ehrenham, maybe even Brian Weitzel, myself, but they're out there. Home doesn't really lend itself to grandfather clocks, so it's just not one of those trophies we typically displayed at home, but usually at the race shop or you know, waiting for that place to put it one day.
He has 6 of his all in one place, so it's sort of cheating on his part, right? Yeah, so.
I mean, that, you know, if you have them all lined up, that's pretty cool too. So I don't have as big a house as he has.
He knows what time it is, right?
He knows. Well, no, the thing is, you got to wind. I tried that. I put it up there, and I found out I had to wind that thing like once a week, and I was like, that's a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.